What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia, for those of you who don't know me, and we are going to be doing a Q&A today. I promised this a while ago and just haven't been able to get to it, so here we go. We're going to do a Q&A on my breeding and a Q&A on grooming, so let's get into it. So, first question that I get asked a lot is, how are the dogs housed when they're with me? So, I have size appropriate kennels that they are put in when I'm not working on them or when they're drying or waiting to be picked up or whatever. So, smaller dogs go in medium sized kennels. I do not have small kennels. So, smaller dogs, they never get put into like super small kennels. They're always put in medium sized kennels. And then larger dogs are put in massive kennels that are on one side of my garage wall. If you guys haven't seen any of my grooming videos, go to those, and there will be, sometime in that video, there will be the kennels along the walls. That is where all of the larger breeds go in when they're with me. If you have two dogs that you bring, usually I will house them together. It helps with stress and anxiety while they're with me, so they will be housed together, but I never house dogs from different households in the same kennel. So your dog will always get their own kennel unless they come with a brother and sister that they are used to and get along well with. Question number 2 is probably my favorite question out of the grooming questions, and it is, what is your favorite dog breed to groom? And this is going to be easy, hands down, poodles and doodles. They are my favorite to groom, specifically the teddy bear cut, which you guys have seen me do so many teddy bear cuts. It is my absolute favorite to do. For those of you who follow me on a regular basis, you guys know this. So I do a lot of doodles and a lot of poodles. Well, actually, I don't do a lot of poodles. Most of my clientele are doodles, and I absolutely love doing them. A new grooming question that I got asked a few weeks ago, actually, is if winter grooming is necessary. And this kind of all depends on the breed that you have. If you have like doodles or poodles or anything like that, grooming is necessary all year round. If you have shorter haired breeds like Chihuahuas, Pit Bulls, Great Danes, grooming in the wintertime is kind of up to you if you want them to smell nice throughout all of winter and you don't really want to keep up on grooming throughout the winter. That's totally fine. You can do that. I would say that people that have longer haired breeds of dogs like golden retrievers and shih tzus and stuff like that, that is more of how much brushing you do with the dog. If you do not brush your dog on a regular basis, I would say grooming is a necessity for wintertime, because what's going to happen is your dog is going to go out in the snow. This is for people around here. If you guys are watching from like warmer climate areas like Florida or places like that that don't really get snow, just disregard this a little bit. Here in Utah, we get snow, and what will happen is your dog will go out in snow and they will get their whole underside and underneath their elbows, and their whole legs will be wet, and it is not going to dry properly. It's going to dry all knotted, and then they go out again, and then they come back in and they dry, and then they go back in, and then they come back in and they dry. So what's going to happen is it's going to start matting. So if you do not brush your dog on almost a daily basis and you have a longer haired dog, grooming is probably a necessity in the wintertime. All right, question number 4. Can you see the grooming space? I get asked this question frequently, and the answer is yes. I have no problem with people coming and seeing the grooming area. Those of you who have come in the summertime have seen the garage door open, and that is where I groom. So you guys have seen the grooming space in the summertime. But for those of you who are new, coming into winter and new clientele, you guys are totally welcome to see the grooming space. I have absolutely nothing to hide. It's kept as clean as I can possibly keep it, with shaving dogs and everything like that and having hair everywhere. But it is kept as clean as I can throughout the day. And then at night, I do sanitize all of the kennels and make sure that it is good and ready to go for the next day. So if you guys want to see where I groom, just ask me and I will take you and show you where your pet will be housed. For those of you who are worried about me grooming out of my garage in the wintertime, my garage is actually heated and cooled. So don't worry about that. And I also have my big industrial tub. It is tapped into the hot and cold water lines. And so your dog is bathed with warm water for summer and winter. So just making that clear. All right, grooming question number 5. Why is my dog still shedding after a de-shed? I get asked this quite a bit. And the answer is, my job as a groomer is to get in and to get as much of that coat that is ready to come out as possible. But I do not force the coat to come out. So if it's not ready to shed, I don't try and keep working that area and trying to get the hair to come out. I only get what is needing to come out that day that I'm grooming them. So a de-shed doesn't mean that I completely take shedding away. A de-shed is just, I groom them until, most of the hair doesn't come out anymore. Obviously there's still going to be hair. De-sheds are hard because there's always going to be hair when you brush them and stuff like that. There's always going to be a little bit of hair that comes out. My goal as the groomer is to brush them until there's little to no hair left coming out on the brush. But that doesn't mean that, your dog is not going to shed for the rest of the time and I got every single piece of hair that needed to come out. I just got the hair that was ready to come out that day. So in a week, it might be not as bad, but it might start shedding again. All right, question number 6. How many years experience do you have with grooming and dogs in general? So I have owned dogs since I was little. So I have a lot of different knowledge from a lot of different dog breeds. I have also trained a lot of different dogs, so that goes into account too. But most of my experience has come from just shadowing other groomers, and I did that for about 1.5 to 2 years. Question number 7 is, what breeds do you own? So, as many of you guys have seen in my previous videos, if you are a follower, I have 3 dogs. So I have a almost 1-year-old Newfie Poo. She turns 1 in November and I can't wait. So her name is Amara. So I have a Phantom Newfie Poo. I have a poodle, purebred poodle. She is a cafe. So I have her, and then I have a 11-year-old husky. So she's a Siberian husky, 2 different colored eyes. You guys have probably seen her in previous videos. Her name is Kira. So I have Kira, Marlo, and then my Newfie Poo, Amara. And then, as many of you have seen, I have this sweet girl right here. She is our rescue cat. She is about 2, and her name is Smokey. Kira is also a rescue. She came to us at 4 years old. So, yeah, those are my 4 pets. Question number 8, why does grooming time vary? So I get this question asked a lot when people drop their dogs off. What time do I need to pick them up? How many hours is it going to take? And this varies a lot. This varies on how often your dogs go to the groomer, how comfortable are they? there's a lot of dogs that hate the high velocity blow dryer, and so I have to let them air dry on their face or their paws or whatever. There's a lot of dogs that hate the bathing process, hate the blow drying, literally hate the entire process. And that's obviously going to take me a little longer because I am fighting the dog the entire time. So this question really does vary. It's up to the dog. This is what I tell everybody. It's really up to the dog and how well they behave. And then also, I do this out of my home so that I can be home with my kids. And so, obviously, my kids are going to need me at times to cook them lunch, to get them breakfast. Kensley's in preschool, so I have to bring her to preschool and from preschool, pick her up. There's just a lot of variables there. So, I might be busy with my kids for an hour. And so that puts an additional hour onto your dog's groom and how long they're with me. So, it really just depends on my date in particular, your dog and how they're doing with the groom, and my kids and everything else. So there's a lot of factors that go into how long your dog is going to take to groom, but I try and get them done within, a bath and cut. For most of my clients, I try and get them done within 3 to 4 hours. And then you have the de-sheds and the bath and brushes that obviously take less time, but can take more time if the dog is not cooperating with the blow drying process or anything like that. And then you have the dematting process, which obviously is like an all-day ordeal. So all right, now we're going to get into the breeding questions that I have. So my first question that I get asked most is, what breed do I breed? So I breed standard poodles, which is what Marlo is. She is a standard poodle and her coloring is cafe. Breeding question number 2 is what I breed for. The answer is temperament. I breed specifically for service work, therapy work, ESAs, and of course, great family pets. But my main focus is those 4 categories. So a lot of poodle breeders will breed for sport, and so their dogs are very energetic and have a lot of energy. And they breed for dock diving and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, poodles were originally bred to retrieve fowl from water when people would shoot them. So they would shoot them and they'd fall in the water. And poodles were bred to swim out and retrieve those fowl and bring them back. So they're actually water retrievers. So they can be bred for sport, and a lot of breeders breed for that. But I breed for temperament specifically. Calmer temperament, sturdy temperament that is going to be really good for service work, therapy work, and pets in general. Breeding question number 3 is, what's the hardest thing about breeding? I think the hardest part about breeding is the amount of time that it takes. Most people think like, oh, I'm just going to put this dog together and this dog together and have puppies. Which I guess you can, but for those of us who breed ethically and for a purpose, a lot of thinking and planning goes into what sire you're going to use versus what dam you're going to use. It goes into a whole lot of like color genetics and personality and health testing and everything like that goes into play. And then you have the puppies and you spend a lot of time and stuff on their curriculum, or I do anyway. A lot of breeders, they don't. But if you're breeding ethically, you will be spending a lot of time devoted to your litter to get them to meet their full potential and be ready for their future homes. So a lot of time and effort goes into breeding, as well as a lot of money. A lot of money goes into it and people don't realize. all of the vet bills, all of the medications, all of the whelping supplies, all of the dams' care during their pregnancy, all of the health testing, everything like that is all cost. And it is a lot. So I would say those are the top two things that are hard about breeding. Okay, what is the difference between a backyard breeder and an ethical breeder? So this is something that I get asked a lot, and this answer is not short. The difference between, so a backyard breeder is somebody who, like I said in the previous question, don't mind my kids, my previous question, when it's like, oh, well, I put a male and a female together and just let them breed. Ethical breeders don't do that. Ethical breeders they first get all of the health testing done that they need to get done for their breeding dogs, and then they look at the health testing and the genetics of that dog and the temperament of that dog, and they match it with a dog of equal or better health testing and stuff like that. So that's number one difference, is the health testing and the planning that goes into the litter. And then number two is a backyard breeder doesn't care where their puppies end up. They don't care if they end up in a shelter. They don't care if the person sells them later down the road and what home they go into. They don't care. And then my last one is kind of up for interpretation. A lot of breeders will do puppy curriculums, and I'm not saying that if they don't do puppy curriculums, they're not an ethical breeder. But I would say that most ethical breeders have a specific puppy curriculum that they follow, that they expose the puppies to a lot of different things before they even come into your home at 8 weeks. So if they don't do that, be mindful about, are they just in their crate all day and not getting any exercise, any exposure, anything like that? Because if they are, that's probably not the best breeder to go with. You want a breeder that brings the puppies out, has them play with their kids or their other animals. They, expose them to different sights, different smells, different sounds. That is what a good breeder is going to do. So be mindful of that when you're looking for a breeder. What's your typical day like with puppies, grooming, and kids? So I don't actually have a video of this yet. So when Marlowe's litter come February, I will actually do a video of this. I will do a video of me getting up, taking care of my kids, taking care of my dogs, taking care of the puppies, then going into my grooming day. I think that's a great video to do. So I will let you guys know when that video comes out. Sixth question is, why the poodle? So if you have ever been in the service dog community or anything like that, we have what is called the Fab Four. And that consists of soft-coated collies, which is like Lassie, if you guys have ever seen Lassie. Lassie is a soft-coated collie. So it's soft-coated collies, golden retrievers, poodles, and labs. Those are the Fab Four breeds. Those are the breeds that give you the most likelihood that they will work out for service work. They have the temperament, they have the work drive, the want and need to please their owners, make them happy. Those are the breeds that will give you the most or the best outcome for service work, is called the Fab Four. Now, people can have service dogs of all different breeds, and some people do choose to go with a German Shepherd or a smaller dog like a Chihuahua or something like that. But a lot of people like the Fab Four because it gives them the best chance at success. So I chose the poodle because, one, I wanted to give people well-bred dogs that you could have with allergies. A lot of people have allergies and can't own the other three breeds in the Fab Four breeds. So I wanted to give that gift to children or to people that might struggle with allergies. The second reason was they don't shed, and with a home of 3 kids and however many dogs I have at a time, shedding is definitely a factor. And so to have dogs that don't shed cuts down on the time I have sweeping and vacuuming my floors. So that helps. Another reason I chose the poodle is their intelligence. I love how smart the poodle is. They catch on things so quickly. So training them is a breeze, and it's super fun to work with them. Their trainability, they are so fun to train. The last reason I chose the poodle is they are so versatile. Like I said, there's a lot of people that breed for, agility or sport or dock diving. There's some people that do it for service work, therapy work, family pets. So they're so versatile, and I loved that about them. Question number 7. Do you believe in doodles? Okay, here's something that probably a lot of people are going to jump down my throat, and I guess it is what it is. Yes, I believe doodles can be ethically bred. So, do I believe that there are a lot of backyard breeders out there for doodles? Yes, but there's a lot of backyard breeders for all of the breeds. That's why you have to be really careful about what breeder you go with if you choose to go with a breeder. But I do believe that doodles can be ethically bred. I believe that there are some people that do health testing on them, that do the curriculum, that do the steps and take the steps necessary to place their puppies in really good homes that will last them forever. So I think the biggest question, or the biggest thing with doodle breeders, is a lot of them, they don't health test, and that's a big thing for ethical breeders, is health testing. Health testing is so important. So, and a lot of doodle breeders don't do that. Also, it's taking, a mix between 2 different breeds, and purebred people don't like that. I don't mind it. It is what it is. I think that doodles can be amazing breeds. So yes, I do believe in doodles, and I believe that one day they will be an actual AKC recognized breed. Are poodles hypoallergenic? I get this question asked so much, and the answer is there is no breed of dog that is completely hypoallergenic. A lot of breeders will use that as a selling point, but they are not completely hypoallergenic. You can still have allergies from poodles if they are severe enough, but most people can have a poodle, can own a poodle that have allergies. And this is because they have hair instead of fur. So, which is why grooming requirements on doodles and poodles are so important. Because their hair continues to grow like our hair does. It just grows and grows and grows. Whereas dogs' hair, it grows and then it sheds off. Which is also why poodles don't shed. So are they hypoallergenic completely? No. And if a breeder tells you that they are completely hypoallergenic, they are lying to you. They are not completely hypoallergenic. You can still have allergies from them, but can you own a poodle if you have allergies? Yes. So look into that if you are allergic and you're thinking about a breed of dog, or you want a dog. So the quick answer to that is no, poodles are not completely hypoallergenic, but yes, you can own a poodle if you have, or a lot of people, I should say, most people can own a poodle if you have allergies. There are some people that their allergies are so bad that they can't own any breed of dog, any breed of cat, like it doesn't matter. But for the most part, if you have allergies, you can own a poodle. I hope that answered that question without being super confusing. All right, that's kind of rounds up this video. We had 8 questions for breeding and 8 questions for grooming, so it was a good video. Good questions that I get asked a lot. I hope this video answers your questions, and I will see you guys in my next one.